welcome back to my channel. Create Asia. First of all, I give you a motivational code. Hope you guys like this code. The desert tells a different story every time one ventures on it. What is your thought about the Sahara Desert? A vast and seeming endless expansion of stretching sand dunes has long been synonymous with remoteness where life struggles against the harshness of the environment. But imagine Sahara is blooming with life now. This part of the desert, long considered to be barren and inhospitable, are now showing signs of transformation. Greenery is creeping back. Landscape once parched are now dotted with greenery, and life is returning to their own place. What could be causing such an unexpected phenomena? Is this a fleeting occurrence or a sign of deeper environmental shifts? Recent scientific observations suggest that the Sahara was the largest and hottest desert in the world. It is undergoing with surprising transformation driven by a combination of climate change and human efforts and natural cycles. The idea of the Sahara greening challenges our perspective of desert as an unchanged wastelands and raises a fascinating questions about the future of our planet. Today, let us dive into the fantasy behind this remarkable transformation, exploring how that desert past might hold clues to its future, these implications for local ecosystem and communities, and the potential long-term consequences for the region and the planet as a whole. And prepare to rethink everything you thought you know about the Sahara Desert. Before we uncover the mystery about the Sahara Desert, if you don't subscribe to my channel, just subscribe. Okay, let us get back to our video. The Sahara Desert, stretching across the northern Africa, is the largest heat desert in the world, covering an area of approximately 9.2 million square kilometers. Looking into the past, what is the interesting about the Sahara Desert was not always the lifeless expansion. It is today approximately 10,000 years ago. During a period known as the African humid period, the region was much wetter with a climate that supported lush vegetation, large lakes, and rich in wildlife. Archaeological evidence suggests that human civilization flourished in the Sahara during this time, benefiting from the fertile soils, rivers, and multiple resources. The African humid period was driven by changes in Earth's orbit and axial tilt, which affected the distribution of solar radiation across the planet. These changes led to an increase in monsoon activity in northern Africa, bringing much needed rainfall to the region. As a result, the Sahara was a savanna-like environment with grasslands, forests, and rich in animal species, including the elephants, hippos, and giraffes. However, around 5,000 years ago, the African humid period came to an end, and the Sahara began to dry out, transforming into the empty desert we know today. This shift was gradual but dramatic as greenery disappeared, lakes dried up, and human population come to migrate for more hospitable regions. The desert education of the Sahara has been a defining feature of the region for millennia, but recent developments suggest that part of the desert are experiencing a reversal of this trend. I have an interesting thought about what happens when the world's largest hot desert, the Sahara, suddenly experiencing a deluge of rain. This question might seem to be almost impossible considering the Sahara's reputation as one of the driest places on earth yet. In September 2024, some of the most heat regions in southeastern Morocco received more than rainfall in just 2 days than they usually get it on entire year, transforming the landscape in a spectacular, almost surreal way. This rare meteorological event, some of the Sahara Desert parts, including regions like Tata and Takunite in Morocco, turning into temporary blue lagoons with water pooling in the middle of the palm trees and sand dunes. Takunait, a village located about 415 kilometers south of Morocco's capital Rabat, received over 100 millimeters, about 3.9 inches of rain within just 24 hours, a third of its typical annual rainfall in one day. This amount of precipitation is breathtaking, especially for an area that usually receives less than 215 millimeters of rain annually. This downpour was not an ordinary rainstorm. It resulted from an extratropical cyclone that drifted into the Sahara, pushing across the northwestern part of the desert. Unlike the usual dry and hot conditions, this storm pulled in moisture from equatorial Africa, leading to an unusual concentration of rainfall. Then Morocco, Algeria, and even part of the Tunisia and Libya. Such storms are very rare in this part of the region, with similar accuracy happening only a handful of times in the past 15 years. The impact of this weather event was dramatic, and multi-phased satellite images captured by NASA's Moody's technology showed shrinking before and after contrasts with previously dry lake beds like Lake Iki in Morocco, now filled with water for the first time in decades. These newly formed bodies of water not just scenic wonders, that also signify a rare recovery of groundwater aquifers, which are crucial for sustaining desert communities that rely heavily on this water source. Yet, this extreme weather change could be a sign of what is to come for the Sahara. Climate scientists believe that such extratropical storms might become more common in the future due to global warming. As the atmosphere returns more moisture and temperature rise, these storm systems are likely to become more frequent and intense, changing weather patterns across the Sahara. Such shifts might lead to more significant but more unpredictable rainfall events. Is one of the driest regions on the planet. While these rains offer a momentary respite, drought that also pose challenges for local communities that are not accustomed to such extreme weather. As the desert landscape recovers from this rare flood, experts are left puzzled over the long-term effects on the Sahara's climate and ecosystem. The transformation of the Sahara after these rare storms remind us that even the most unchanging landscapes can surprise and is illustration of natural power and unpredictability, showing that even in a place where the sand seems to be internal, water can still find its way. If you like this video, just subscribe, like, share. Bye everyone.